Today I'm going to show you how to install cruise control in a 2002 Dodge Dakota. So that Dodge Dakota did not come with cruise control, but I'm going to show you how to do a plug and play install from an OEM system here. So I went to the junkyard and pulled the servo, clock spring, and these switches, and the steering wheel backing plate. And it is all plug and play. The last Dakota I did this to did not require me to swap over this clock spring, so we'll see if this 2002 requires it or not, but I pulled it anyways. But yeah, the mounting studs are all there. The throttle plate has the extra nipple there, and the vacuum line nipple is there as well, so it's literally plug and play. I did read where sometimes the cruise light won't turn on unless you take it to the dealership and get it flashed, but the last Dakota I installed a kit on, the light turned right on right away, so hopefully I get lucky with that one again, and it'll be nice plug and play, clean OEM option. Alright, so stay tuned and I'll show you how to do that. Alright, the first step to install cruise control on a Dodge Dakota, this is a 2002. This should work, I believe, from 97 to 2004, is to pop the hood. And then we're going to disconnect the battery. Battery's right here. We're going to disconnect that. Alright, so that's disconnected. And next thing we need to do is disconnect this pipe here, because the cruise control mounts right down here. You have to loosen this up a little bit. So there's a little stud down there and a nut up here. Gives you enough room to remove this. Alright, so the air filter stud is right there. The lower cruise control stud is there. So there's two studs right up there for the upper control or cruise control studs, and then the OEM harness to power the cruise is right there. So that just unplugs from that plastic blank. So I'm going to go ahead and get that installed right now. So there's this little red tab that needs to be pushed out first. To disconnect this. So that's disconnected. And when you buy the servo at the junkyard, you got to make sure you're getting the servo from the same engine. So this is a 3.9. You need to get the servo from the 3.9. So make sure you get the servo from the same engine. Otherwise, the cable, especially the end, will not be the same. And so, or the servo length. So you got to make sure you get the servo from the same engine. Alright, and then also make sure you get the nuts. So I'm going to go ahead and get this plugged in and installed. So it's pretty hard, kind of hard to reach in here, so you should get it plugged in before you get it mounted. And then make sure you push that red clip back on. So yep, fits in just like that. Alright, so that completes the servo install. So the end of the servo cable is going to go, so it kind of snaps in there. Those little legs goes into this hole, and then on the back side, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Let's see if I can get the light on there. Yeah, so see that there's a nipple right there where the end of that servo is going to attach to. And so then it'll pull back on that throttle and hold the speed. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that through that hole, get it secured, and then hook it on that nipple. Alright, so next up is to attach the vacuum line. Alright, next step is to remove that little rubber boot, and then this is going to plug into that, and that's your vacuum source. Alright, so that's all set there. Alright, so to do a real quick recap, you install the servo down here into this area right near that intake snorkel. I gotta replace the intake snorkel, and then you route the cable up and over here into the throttle plate there, that hole, and then run the vacuum line up to that OEM vacuum line spot there. Alright, so I'm going to reinstall that snorkel, and we'll move inside the car. Remember, there's a stud up there and a stud down here that kind of mounts onto. Alright, so now we just gotta realign the two studs for the intake box. Resecure this nut up here. Alright, so that completes the install under the hood. Would never know it wasn't there. Alright, let's move inside. Alright, so the first step is to remove the airbag. There's two 8mm bolts on the back side of the steering wheel shroud, and that'll remove the airbag. So I'll get that done right now. So they're right back here. Alright, now the airbag can come out. And there's going to be a couple plugs. So this one right here, it's just a spade plug. So unplug that. Alright, so then unplug the airbag switch. So that just unplugs like that. Airbag falls off. So yeah, I don't think I have to replace this clock spring because it has 3 spots, and I believe the 3 spots indicates that it's capable of doing cruise control pass through. So that's good. I still have to remove the steering wheel and then this plastic shroud, so I'm going to get a bolt for that, and then my steering wheel puller, and we'll pull that steering wheel off. Alright, so this is a 13mm bolt. Make sure the steering wheel stays straight so the clock spring doesn't move. Alright, got that off. I'll grab my steering wheel puller and get that hooked up. If you don't have a steering wheel puller, you can beat the heck out of the steering wheel and it will come off, but this is a heck of a lot easier. Okay, there's the steering wheel off. Keep that clock spring up. And then I need to unscrew the plastic shroud from the steering wheel, and then this back piece will come off. Alright, so there's 4 screws that hold this on. Alright. So there's the difference. The bottom one will receive the buttons. This one cannot receive the buttons. So gotta swap those over. Okay, so when you pull these switches, you want to make sure you keep those screws from the junkyard, and they are little Torx 15, I think. So then those screw in here. Alright, there you go, finished product. So buttons are installed. There's the harness. Alright, so let's go back inside and finish installing the steering wheel. Alright, let's get the steering wheel back on there. So plug that in, unplug the old one, the old little harness, and then we can get the airbag back on, and we'll be done in here. So that little spade connector is the horn switch. And for the horn, alright, then we just have our little 8mm bolts in the back. We'll get those re-secured, and then we'll be ready to reconnect the battery and see if the cruise light turns on. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and plug the negative cable back on, and we'll see if we have the cruise light. Alright, here's the moment of truth. Will I have cruise control or not? Was my install a success or not? Alright, here we go. Alright, so when I push the cruise control button, let's see what happens. Alright. So cruise is working. Can't really read it, unfortunately, because of the camera and the lighting, but yeah, cruise control is working. Now I'll actually have to, obviously test it, but yeah, might take it for a spin and see what happens here. So yeah, that was a success. Cruise control is working as it should. I'm hoping to do some upgrades like this to other cars in the Lansing area. If you're in the area, check out Fetch a Wrench, and I'd be happy to help you. Until then, I hope you would support me and my channel, and like, share, and subscribe. And I will be putting out more content similar to this. So there you have it. Cruise control is working perfectly. I just got done with the test drive, and it's working smoothly. Engages right around 30 to 35 miles per hour. Decels, XLs, cancels. Yeah, it's perfect. So it's a pretty easy job. Can do it under an hour and maybe $15 worth of parts at the junkyard. If your Dodge Dakota does not have a cruise control, I would highly suggest you try to do this modification yourself and save some money, and improve your comfort while cruising and driving your Dakota. So yeah, there you have it. Pretty easy install. So I've got OEM Cruise from another Dakota. Yeah, so I didn't see a video out there that covered this upgrade. So hopefully this helps out some people with some Dakotas. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like it, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much, and have a great day.